Hello. Hello everybody. My name is Kay and I've been really going back and forth a lot about whether or not I should make videos. And even on camera by myself, I'm more awkward than with people, which is, I don't understand why it's so hard to talk to a camera. But I said, whatever, carpe diem, it's time to do it. Because, you think oh, well, what do I have to even say to anybody? And I realize it's probably a lot more than I would ever realize. But just this, I'm like to tell you some stuff about myself. I'm 43 and I have a 12-year-old daughter, and I've been married for 16 years, but I've been with my husband a total of 25 years. So there's a lot to contribute in the way of experience on marriage and raising a kid and, among other things. But today, it's I wanted to talk about something that I feel like nobody really talks about, and that's this idea of yes, I am an introvert, if you can't tell, which means it's not that I dislike spending time with people or talking to people. It's just that I am very I internally need some time by myself a lot during the day, just to decompress and to let everything kind of unwind on its own instead of knotting up. But with being an introvert, there also comes this whole thing of this notion of loneliness, but it's a chosen loneliness, if that makes sense. It's not sadness and feel sorry for myself or anything like that. It's just and it's also this level of trust with you have friends, friend group. I'm sure there are people who have wonderful friend groups that they're rock solid, where everybody's a vault. Nobody does any, talking outside the group or, about each other. And that's super important to have people like that in your life that, that you can 100% use as a sounding board to vent to. They don't necessarily give you advice unless you want it, but people that just are there to just hear you out, and basically that's just it, just so that you can let whatever is inside out. And yeah, you could journal it, I suppose, but I don't know, I think you get to a certain point where enough is enough and it just needs to be let go of. And I think that's why a lot of it's being an introvert is good, or being quiet is good, because bad habits or things that you allow to happen in your life, they can perpetuate, they can get worse, especially if it's fuel for entertainment, like gossip, which I just can't I just can't do it. I just can't do gossip. It doesn't serve me in any kind of way, and I'm in this Marie Kondo purge part of my life, where if it doesn't serve me, it needs to be let go. If it could serve somebody else, it needs to be let go of. So it's just this efficient way of tidying up my mind and my life, of just really thinking a lot about stuff before reacting. And I guess that comes into another part about myself, is that I am a very emotional person. I'm a very deeply I can get very deeply emotional about things, and it's best to just let those things sit and work themselves out in their own time and their own way, instead of trying to control everything and reacting immediately. That doesn't do anything good for me or anybody else. So, yes, I think that it's okay to not have a lot of influence from a lot of other people and things. Influence is very potent right now. It's everywhere. Everybody's got an opinion that changes daily. And sometimes it's better to just, what is it? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I love that. My daughter took Taekwondo, or a certain type of Taekwondo, for a long time. And that was one of the things that they didn't say it, but it was on their website and they would post it. And that really is everything in a lot of ways, as far as being preachy or trying to tell somebody how to live their life, or, it's like when you want to know the answer, you'll figure it out. If you want to solve that problem, there's enough resources out there that you can solve it, that you don't have to go looking and talking to every professional and every expert. I'm sorry. I was tempted to do air quotes when I say expert, but I realize that is smug. And that is one thing that I detest, is smugness. Which is why I stay out of a lot of things that I don't understand or I don't have a lot of information about. And that being said, another thing that comes to mind are people who are emotional vampires in your life, and they will come to you with their shit, and they will try to suck out the best of you. They will try to get the best of you by venting and having you as a sounding board. And I said that in the beginning. It's important to have people you could trust that you could use as sounding boards. But at the same time, there's only so much a person can take, especially when they're running their own lives and trying to figure stuff out and have their own stuff that they deal with. And I don't like to tell everybody or anybody, except maybe talk to my husband, really, things that I have to deal with that are hard, that I need help with, or in other people, they go and they, instead of trying to solve their own problems and listen to themselves and take times of stillness and being quiet in their lives to try and figure out what the problem is, they have to call everybody they know and tell them everything. And then everybody they know tells them whatever it is they have to say. And at the end of the day, those people don't do anything about their problem, and their problem snowballs, and then they call you back in a couple of weeks to tell you how they're a victim and how worse their problem is now, and they didn't listen to you then, and they don't want to listen to you now, but yet, because you're their friend, they think it's your responsibility, your duty to listen to them and to be a part of all of this toxic shit. And it's not. Like I say, it's not my monkeys, not my circus, whatever that saying is, not my circus, not my monkeys. And it's a lot about only you truly understand the situation that you're in sometimes. And whether or not you need to write all that stuff down and make some pros and cons, or try and figure it out the best that you can, without letting your own ego get in the way of making a decision there, because that's very hard to push your own self aside when it comes to what you think is right and wrong, and being disrespected, or thinking about what another person is going through to try to help them or help yourself or give them space or whatever. I think it really is like, let's circle back to quiet time, space. Introspection, is that the word I've been trying to come up with this whole time? You know what I'm saying. I don't need to get policed about my words. I can look them up online and know that if I'm saying something wrong or not. I don't need other people to tell me that. Like I say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So, yes, I hope that this provided this settled some dust in your life. But yeah, I'm sorry I don't look into the camera a lot. It's like weird. It's like I get distracted by seeing myself on the camera, and then I have this window in front of me and I can see like birds, and it helps me think, and can look into the sky when I'm talking to you. So just know it's all very well intentioned, everything that I'm saying. And it just comes from a place of trying to understand things so that maybe I can help somebody else try to be better at trying to understand things in their life. But I feel better now, so I think that the video is over for today. And I don't know how often I'll post, because I feel like before I post a video, I really have to have kind of a theme in mind and craft something that I want to say without writing down notes or blathering forever, because I know your time is valuable and mine is too. And I think it's just, I got to get in, I got to say what I want to say, and I get out. So I'll be back soon with something else to say. Have a really great rest of your day, whatever it is that you're doing. Bye.